Hi, I'm Cole Sandau with the Optera Group, and I was hoping to chat a little bit today about what makes a good mobile app. So we've been doing mobile app development in the sales enablement context for quite a bit of time. We did our first one about 2 months after the first iPad came out, so we've had a lot of experience with it. And we get asked the question a lot of what makes a good mobile app for a sales team. And mobile app development and sales enablement applications are very much a unique application to build and kind of a very unique beast. And there's some interesting things that make them good and don't make them good. I think the most important thing to think about when you start developing an app for a sales force is to really think about the context of how the user is going to be using the app. I think we unfortunately fall into the trap of everybody can be an app designer, and we have a lot of people who start to try to design apps and really think about building the content and the structure of it, and they forget exactly how the end user, which is a sales rep, is going to be using it with a customer and what they're trying to accomplish with the customer. And that we start building too much content, we start building content that doesn't really work for people. So one thing we've noticed over the past couple years is that when an app is actually used by a sales rep, about 70% of the time, it's actually used in response to a question that somebody asks them. So most of the time, the rep's not coming in and plugging their iPad into a projector and saying, let me give you a pitch. Rather, what's happening is they're having a dialogue about something, and then a question comes up. And the app then comes out to aid in an objection response, to answer a question, or to go on down a side path that the conversation's gone on. And it's really helpful in that context. But if that's your dominant use model, you have to design your content to accommodate that. We need to build content that is, one, really easy to get to, it's quick and to the point, and it really is focused on helping the customer understand the question that they just asked the rep, right? So what happens a lot of times, and I think why a lot of apps fail, and a lot of things that we're seeing being changed in kind of second and third generation enablement apps, is that the content focus is really changing. When apps first came out for sales enablement, pretty much everything people did was take a PowerPoint and put it onto an iPad. And it was really underwhelming. It was really hard for the user because the user then had to find and search through the applications to get to the one piece of content they needed in response to a question. And it just didn't work, and people just stopped using them. We also saw a lot of times when companies would invest tons of money in trying to build apps that allow the sales rep to pre-configure the content ahead of the sales call for the customer and really like build that custom presentation. And I've never seen one of those projects work because it doesn't work that way in the use model. The use model isn't pre-build your content, go in and do the pitch. Rather, it's have a dialogue with the customer and then use the iPad in response to a question. So all that investment in the really fancy tools to try to build out these front ends to pre-configure presentations really just never paid off. So for me, if I'm really looking at designing a sales enablement app, it's really about focusing in on the content and how the content really is influencing the customer in the context of the sales call, and building the app to be very, very centric to use in that sales call. And that's really what seems to be separating a really strong and high quality sales enablement app from the competition.